Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to this narration of the web novel Humans Don't Make Good Familiars, taken from Reddit with the author's approval. If you're new to the series, there is a playlist listed in the description. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. Part 7. I reached out and grabbed a pajama shirt and trousers just before my hand disappeared. Ah! I yelped as I slammed face first onto a grassy ground. Suma squawked in surprise and flapped her wings in an attempt to regain her balance. "Jake, are you okay?" she asked, once again finding her footing on a small wooden perch. I groaned, rolling over on my back and touching my face to make sure that I wasn't bleeding. A little warning would have been appreciated," I said, sitting up and putting my trousers up, then sliding on my shirt. "Sorry, but what were you doing floating in the air without your garments?" Suma wondered. I stood up and rolled my shoulders. "I was about to go to sleep." "Okay, but how were you floating?" she asked. "I wasn't floating. I was lying on a bed." "Boy, I'm sure glad I had clothes nearby," I told her. "Oh, I don't know what a bed is, but you were lying on something, and I guess that makes sense, but why were you not in your garments?" She cocked her head in confusion. "Suma, why did you summon me here?" I ignored the question because at the moment I didn't feel like detailing the intricacies of human sleeping habits. "Oh, right, we need to train," she explained excitedly. "Train? But Wait, I feel fine," I exclaimed as I expected to feel absolutely exhausted after staying up all night and a day. But actually, I felt as if I had gotten a full night's sleep. "Suma, why am I not tired?" "Summoning a person is basically reconstitutes them in our world fully rejuvenated and healed. It was made this way so as to heal wounds dealt during battle," she told me, "although it can't revive the dead or replace lost limbs." "So I could get stabbed, but as soon as you send me back home, I'll be fine," I asked. "As long as you don't die, then sure," she said. "Are you ready to train?" Suma asked. "Sure, but what do you mean when you say train?" I wondered. "Practice our magics and battle strategies, as well as find out where our combination of magic is and how it works," Suma told me. I don't know any magic," I said. Her head moved back slightly and she ruffled her feathers. "But you used magic to kill the Borak." "No, I used a gun." "What is a gun?" "It's a weapon made to send small pieces of metal several hundred kilometers per hour at an opponent. This usually puts a hole in them, some large and some small depending on the type," I exclaimed. "Okay, well, you can just use that in training," Sua said. "I don't have it. I don't even own one. I was just renting the one I had when I killed the Borag." Suma stayed quiet for a while. Her beak gave little in the way of expression, but I could only assume that it was either regret or annoyance at the sudden realization that I didn't come with super awesome instant kill moves that she thought I had. "Well, how do we make one?" She finally spoke. "Your world has magic, right? I spent a lot of time thinking about that last night, and I came up with 2 ideas. My first thought was to make a weapon that I could keep on my person at all times in my world, but that is just infeasible and would most likely end with me in jail. My second thought was constructing a weapon here and leaving it with you when I'm not here." "Okay, I think I could do that, but what kind of weapon did you have in mind?" "A stone thrower. Few weapons here, but nothing like your, gun," Suma said. "I was thinking of a sword or shield, or maybe a spear. If I could figure out how to make it practical, I would try and make a gun of some kind. Even a flintlock would work. But the materials required might not even exist here. So I won't worry about that yet," I told her. "What are swords and spears?" she asked. I was a bit caught off guard by this question, but I guess it made sense that their species didn't have things like that since they don't have the hands or bodies necessary for that kind of combat. "A sword is a sharp piece of metal, like iron or steel fixed on a handle, and a spear is similar but far longer," I told Suma. Suma shook her head. "I can't say that I've ever heard of such things." "Does your world have the ability to smelt steel and shape it?" I asked. "We do, but it is usually only done for things like construction. I don't know if weapons can be made that way." "Might as well try," I said. With that, Suma and I went into the city in search of a metal worker and tools. I knew enough about the process from my studies and the years of preparation that I could probably do it myself if I had to, but I'd rather leave it in the hands of a professional. It took only an hour, but soon we found a small shop run by an elderly unnamed nymph who seemed interested in making weapons out of steel instead of just normal construction supplies. I gave him a detailed drawing of the sword, shield, and a spear. And I don't know how he planned to build our order without hands, but he seemed confident that he could. We paid him with some of the world's currency, as well as a bit of magic power, which Suma supplied. I asked later, and she explained that it was a normal way to pay here. In total, it cost us only a little bit of money, at least I think, as the metal workers seemed like he cared more for about finding out if it was possible than getting paid. How long did them say that our weapons would take to finish? I asked Suma. A week total, but the spear probably only 2 days. While we waited, we spent a week training what we could. We went over potential battle tactics, and what positions we could take on the battlefield, and she also explained what combination magic was. Apparently, it was something we could still do, despite me not having any magic. It was performed by my lending her some of my life force, as she called it, and then combining it with her own to create a unique attack or effect. Are you ready, Jake? Suma asked as she prepared to perform the ritual to take some of my life force. Ready, I said. A magical circle formed around the two of us, and then slowly they warped to form a figure 8, and then connected between our bodies. I felt a feeling of cold chill run down my body, and a wave of blue traveled from my end of the circle to hers. As soon as it touched her body, Suma began crying out in pain and fell to her stomach. As soon as she hit the ground, the circle vanished, and I ran to pick her up. Suma! End of chapter. Just a quick shout out to the T5 peeps. Bob the Dragon, Cat Crab Lobster, Data Magnet, Dark Machine, Bezic, Try Again 95, Fudic Yol, Astrea the Dreamer, Caspar Arnholtz, Cam Maxwell, Athelia, Meridian 117, and Jordan Bucksmorm. Thank you very much. And that, my friends, concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed. There are links down below, both to support this channel and for the author of this fiction. Anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic one, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.